sea, you calm the storm. Nothing is impossible for you. You can do so much more than I can ever dream, beyond what I can see or believe or ever think. Nothing is impossible for you. With you I'm boundless. With you I'm fearless.
Well, I think I would have to say my favorite is Never Let Me Go.
Okay.
Never Let Me Go. I just love the reminder in that song how, no matter where we go in life or, wherever we try to hide, God is always there. He never lets go of us. And that's the good promise in that song is He never leaves us, never forsakes us.
Yeah.
So I think that would have to be my favorite. I love the message and it's so powerful. My prayer is that they just feel the love of God and that in His presence, like in each song, like it incorporates that, that love and that He never, abandons us.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love how each song has like a theme, or it all goes together.
Mm-hmm.
And I just pray that they are encouraged and reminded of the love and freedom that is found when we put our trust in Him. Just that He loves them and His love is unconditional. There's nowhere we can go that His love is not there. And I love that reminder, and I pray that they feel that
Yeah.
and are reminded of that. I started really young. I would sit in front of the camera and just perform forever.
Yeah.
And so it's always really been a love of mine, like music. And when I started listening to other artists, it really hit me like I could see myself doing this. I really felt like God calling me to do that. And it's just been a dream. Put that dream in my heart, and I knew that this is what I had to do.
Yeah.
Just growing up on music and
Yeah.
then discovering my own talents that God has blessed me with. It's
Cool.
really
Very cool. What are maybe two or three of your biggest influences? 2 or 3 of your favorite artists?
well, got me really starting to love Christian music was Avalon, and
Okay.
they really touched my heart in that way. And Francesca Battistelli is definitely a inspiration of mine, and Blanca, she's formerly of Group 1 crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their hearts for God are just, it really inspired me, and
Yeah.
I really look up to them. And that they will just know that how much God has put on my heart, and to see that evident in my life, and that it will touch them in a way that they'll want to experience that too. And just to know the joy that He's brought in my life and to share that with others, like that's the main goal in my prayer. Yes, I'd love to. Let's go for fun. We'll see how much we can push their buttons, Amy teased her girlfriend, who didn't like the idea of hanging around a bunch of Christians. Come on, Amy said. I hear their motto is come as you are. I just want to prove that they're come as you are unless you're gay. Amy had been in a 9-year lesbian relationship that had broken up, leaving her wondering why her deepest longings could never be satisfied. She and Rachel had just started hanging out when they decided to attend one Sunday morning. I came on a mission to shock people, Amy admits. Rachel and I would hold hands in front of people, but instead of the disgusted looks of contempt we expected, people met eyes with us and treated us like real people. So we started coming to church weekly. We kept moving closer to the front each week, trying to get a reaction so that we'd be rejected sooner rather than later. When we couldn't shock people, we stopped trying and started learning. Not long after that, Rachel and I stopped seeing each other, but I kept coming to church because I was searching for something, Amy admits. I definitely wasn't looking to change. It wasn't my lesbian lifestyle that I was bringing to God, but I wondered if God had answers to my deeper longings. Problem was, I didn't trust God at all. The more I listened and learned about the teachings of Jesus, the more I started to actually believe that God really did love me. I heard more and more about His masterpiece, and in time, I actually started to believe it. The more I believed God actually could see something of value in me, the more I trusted Him. Over time, Amy slowly opened up her heart and struggles to Christ. It took several years, but as I moved closer and closer to Christ, He gently took me on a very surprising journey, she says. First, I found out my father had 9 affairs while I was growing up. a secret that rocked my world. Jesus began to show me how the roots of my sexual issues tied together with my dad's. I was just like him, using people to find comfort, life, and love outside of God. Amy continued to grow in her knowledge of the scriptures, falling more and more in love with the Lord. The following year, God had another surprise for her. I went to this seminar called To Behold, hosted by Gateway. I wanted to see how God could put closure in my brokenness, but what he showed me shocked me. As Dan Allender was telling a story of a bully, Amy recalls, I suddenly had a flashback of getting off the school bus. I lived down the street from Jimmy, a boy who had bullied me all year, but this was a particular day Jimmy acted nice to me as I got off the bus. He apologized for being so mean and he invited me to come to his house. The day in the seminar, all else faded to the black as the vivid nightmare crept back into my life. Amy saw herself walking through Jimmy's front door, noticing all the shades pulled down. Startled, she spied 2 teenage boys eyeing her with a ravenous look as the door slammed shut. Her screams never escaped the evil darkness that enveloped that house. They pinned her down and raped her. She was 9. Amy swam in a pool of tears as the seminar continued. Others were oblivious to her divine epiphany. She realized the Lord had been drawing her near to strengthen her for this revelation, to show her the source of so much sexual struggle hidden for years beneath layers of protective mud. After that, I realized God knows more about me than I know about myself, Amy recalls. He wants to bring healing to these wounds, so I fully gave him my heart and body, everything. As I continued to seek intimacy with him, lesbian struggles fell away. I was not saying that's how God works with everyone, but it's how he's healing me. The more I focus on God's intimate love for me and try to see his masterpiece emerge, the less I want anything to get in the way of his work in me. 7 years later, Amy leads our ministry to help people finding healing and wholeness from all kinds of sexual and relational struggles. She's helping others become God's restored masterpiece. Jesus is never shocked. He says, do you realize that Jesus is not shocked by the shocking things people do? Jesus knew Zacchaeus had robbed blind and profited off of much unethical behavior, yet Jesus was not shocked. He did not offer Zach correction, but relationship. Zacchaeus, hurry and come down, for today I must remain at your house. That shocked everyone. Yet relationship changed Zacchaeus. Jesus knew that the Samaritan woman at the well had been married and divorced 5 times. He knew about her current hookup and how sexually entangled she was with the guy she was living with. Jesus was not repulsed. Samaritans of Jesus' day were treated by the religious community like gay people often get treated by some of today's Christian community. None of this kept Jesus away from him from offering her living water. Maybe Jesus wants Christ's followers who will be less like the Pharisees and more like him. Unshockable. This is my prayer, that when you hear this song and hear this story, that no matter where you are in life, no matter what you're facing, you're never too far from God's love. There's never a place where we can go that God can't reach us. He does love us where we are, but he loves us enough to show us the truth. Because when we come to know him, we want to know what he's all about and what he's for. And I pray that this song and that story touches you, no matter what it may be in your life. He loves you enough to give us that truth that sets us free.
Oh, he loves me, Father God, he loves me. Oh, he loves me so. I may never understand all the ways of God, the great I am, and I just know he's healing me. In every season, every change, he speaks, he loves me every day. And